Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country, Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome to Make It Monday Live with Pamela, where I will be sharing today a 12 by 12 two-page scrapbook layout featuring some really fun, unique products, which would include the Botanical Textures 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, along with the textured notes, stamp and dies. I've even got a 3D corrugated embossing folder here. Those items, along with this white ribbon, it's kind of a woven textured ribbon, are part of the March 2025 online exclusives that went live the first part of March. So you won't find them in any catalog. You'll only find them online under the online exclusives tab. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for joining me today. Please say hello if you're joining me. Let me know where you're viewing from. I know Debbie's here in Fredericksburg, Texas with me. And I will also be using the 23 through 25 InColor collection of products. We have some cardstock along with the jute trim. Look at that. Nice, thick and chunky. Thick and chunky are the same. And then we have the 23-25 InColor opaque sparkle dots. And what else? I guess that's all. Oh, I have ink pads as well. So we are going to create a bright, fun, happy page today. I did not get my photos printed because my computer would not, or my printer would not connect with my phone and my computer until just a few minutes ago. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Sharice. So I didn't get photos or journaling done, but I'll share with you what my plan is. I think I'm only going to do like 3 4x4 photos on this two-page spread. Now you could add more photos, and maybe I will with some 4x4 flip-flaps. We'll see about that. I might just add that in. I'm going to grab some photo place cards that are 4x4. So we'll have those. And then let me see if I have 4x4 flip flaps. I'm not sure. My chair is sinking. I'm not sure that I have any 4x4s right now. So that's just an option. So FYI, Stampin' Up! Does carry the 4x4 flip flaps. I hope I'm going to get some in my artisan box. I can't remember. And it should be here any day now, I think. Fixing my chair, 1 second. Jeff ordered me new hydraulics for it so that maybe it'll stop going down because it's very irritating right now. So how was everyone's weekend? Ow. Sorry, I hit my heel. We had a really nice, relaxing weekend. We went to San Antonio Friday after Jeff got off of work to pick up my jewelry that I had repaired through Brighton. I don't have the pair of earrings in here, but the earrings, the one of the studs, I guess you call it, was wiggling, coming loose, and They replaced the whole pair. They didn't bother to repair it. They just gave me a brand new pair, which I thought was so awesome. And then I was just pulling out my jewelry. I love Brighton jewelry. Like all of this is Brighton jewelry. So I got, these were my new ones that I got when I dropped off my old ones. And then this is a ring that I've had for a very long time, and some of the rhinestones were missing, so they fixed that for me. And it's a retired ring. And then there's another ring that I got um, when I dropped off my heart ring. So Debbie says they started a fence around the backyard, so I don't have to take the dogs out and stop using puppy pads. Yay! It's the little things in life that help so much. What did we do on Saturday? I don't know why I can't even remember. I don't think we really went anywhere. I think we just worked around the house on things. I worked on some PDFs, I think, and oh, I had a Paper Pumpkin Creatives design team project I had to get done and a PDF done for that. So I think we just mainly did housework and visited and talked. Jeff and I enjoyed our day. And then yesterday we had a wonderful service at church. Then Jeff and I went to the grocery store. I wish I could show you the pictures right now of the pretty flowers that they had, but they also had crawfish and shrimp and like a crawfish meal. You know how you have corn and sausage and potatoes? They had all that like cooked, and we bought a crawfish family meal and had Jeff's parents over last night, and it was so, so good, and I didn't have to cook. That was the best part. And we watched a movie, Homestead. It was really good. I enjoyed it. And then Jeff surprised us. I didn't know this, but it's a TV series as well. We watched the movie, and then we're going to watch, I think there's only like two episodes of the series, but we'll probably do that over the next night or two. Anyone else have anything to share? All right, so let's look at what we have going on this week. Let me move some things around real quick. Don't need that there. All right, so in the description, you'll find details about our page that our layout we're gonna make today using all the products that I mentioned. And today's journaling prompt is going to be, there is so much beauty in the ordinary. I'm learning to slow down, stay grateful, and savor the sweet, simple moments that make this life so good. And I'm thinking I will use some photos. Let me see. ChatGPT gave me some ideas, and I was going to kind of try to look at that. I had several ways I was going to go with this scrapbook layout. I already have my idea figured out for Wednesday for these papers. These would be, I didn't think about this until after I'd already done all of this, but these papers for scrapbooking would be great for journaling like Japanese meals. I thought of ramen because Bevan loves ramen, and we've gone to a couple of ramen restaurants together. If we go out to San Antonio to do something, that's one of our go-to places for her. And so I've taken pictures inside of one of the ramen restaurants. So I think I'm going to do that on Wednesday. And then today, with my title, Grateful Heart, Happy Life, Just kind of keep it generic. And I'm going to capture some everyday joys. It recommended, I don't know exactly the photos I'll use, but it recommended like Bevan laughing or getting ready for a school event. I have a perfect photo of that, but it's a couple of years ago, I think. And or maybe a quiet breakfast or a tea moment with Jeff. So I've taken pictures of us, sitting down for Saturday breakfast because most Saturdays we get up, we sleep in a little bit, get up, have our coffee, and make a big breakfast for just the two of us usually. And so I may focus on that, maybe quiet moments with Jeff or quality time moments with Jeff. I have a lot I could scrapbook about that. And then there's also, you could do flowers in your garden or walks at the park. That would be awesome as well. Um, Crafting at your desk with sunlight pouring in. I've done pages like that already, so I'll probably pick something that I've already mentioned. I could even include like a photo of a handwritten note or scripture. Um, I have an idea for that as well. And then you can just add any type of photos that make you smile just because. So if you have any ideas that you think of or you think you would scrapbook, please share in the comments. I would love, it might spark me or someone else. Good morning, Charisse. Thank you, ladies. Teresa says she spent some time in her craft room creating. Yay, we all love that. Did laundry. Most of us don't love that, but we probably all did some of that too. Oh, I'm so sorry you were sick. I hope you're feeling much better now. All right. And then ChatGPT also gave me a couple of options for journaling. Here's one. It doesn't have to be big or grand to be meaningful. This moment, this smile, this light, this simple joy reminded me that the little things really are the big things. So that would be awesome. There was another option. Some days are made for slow mornings, good conversations, and belly laughs. This was one of those days, and I'm holding on to it. That would be perfect for Saturday mornings with Jeff. So that might be the route that I go. Um, it gave me some ideas of how to put my pages together, but I was inspired by a fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, former Close to My Heart maker, Janice. And I'm not even sure how you say her last name, so I'm not going to try to say it. But if you're a former Close to My Heart maker, you probably know she was actually on the Close to My Heart maker workshop committee. And I probably know how to say her name. I just can't think of how to say it right now. So I was inspired by some of her recent work with this collection. So I'm going to use a couple of her elements to do the page. All right, so I need to open this up. I haven't even opened up the ribbon, so let me get that here. Oh, and as a reminder, I don't even think I put it in the description, so I'll put that in a little bit. There will be a scrap and create kit for this collection of products this week, because I've had some good interest in that. So you'll receive with a $50 order through my Stampin' Up! Website, you can get the Scrap and Create kit, the full sheets of cardstock, and like half sheets of designer series paper, and you'll have plenty of product to create all the projects for the week. So a two-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout, a one-page 12 by 12 scrapbook page, and two fun fold cards. You'll have leftover product. So here is let's share real quick what the designer series paper looks like. So we've got some really pretty patterns, and then look at the back. I love it. So you can go all kinds of ways. So this would be great. Throw out some ideas of how you might scrapbook with this. I can see artistic stuff like the stuff Bevan creates. I could scrapbook about her. There's kind of a wood grainish feel in these black and gray patterns on the back, but then there's all these um, not really florals, more like it's called botanical or just leaves, foliage. Um, Maybe painting in your home, doing some home renovations would be awesome. And yeah, there's all kinds of directions really you could go with this. So those are the front and the back. So you'll get a sheet, a half a sheet of each one of these, just like this, 6 by 12. Um, so far I've got in here some basic black 8.5 by 11 and a basic white 8.5 by 11. You'll get one sheet each of the 2023-25 InColor. So all these colors of cardstock in 12 by 12. So maybe a little bit more than I've been putting into a scrap and create kit, but that way you get a sampling of all the cardstock, and then there'll be a couple of sheets of the white willow for the scrapbook pages. All right, so don't forget about that. You'll also get some embellishments, and which include the ribbon, the twine, the jute is what it's called, and the opaque sparkle dots. Okay, and let's see. Ooh, get busy. You will need to recreate these projects, the textured notes bundle. So you can get this, I think, at a 10% discount right now. It's got some basket weave elements and the leaves and some nice sentiments. I think we can use this on our scrapbook page today. A little note of appreciation. That'll go with the Grateful Heart, Happy Life. And here are the dies. Look at these. Oh, and now that I look at them, they really do remind me of like the Japanese restaurants and so forth. So these are going to work really well. I'll really feature these a lot, I think, on Wednesday. And I'm going to see if I can incorporate them a little bit in today's project. But we're mainly going to be stamping. Probably these two images mostly. And I've already got my title cut out in the basic black. I'm just prepping my products here real quick. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to limit myself to this strip of embellishments. So we'll use those throughout our projects for the week. All right. Oh, and I have the 3D corrugated, what do you call it? 3D folder, embossing folder. And I think I will run these through there. So we've got Moody Mauve, Wild Wheat, and Boho Blue. All right, so let's move some things around. I don't know if I want to tack them down quite yet. See that ribbon? Look how pretty that ribbon is. It's soft. Got stuff flying everywhere. And we're going to do some random stamping along this edge over here. And I'm going to build out my photos this way. So I don't think I'm going to do random stamping over here, but we'll see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to use this and this. And I think that's probably all I'm going to do, but we're going to have to do some fussy cutting because there were no um, dies for either one of these. So I'm going to do some black. Let's see. So I've got my tuxedo black memento. And I think what I'm going to do, let me rearrange a little bit. I'm going to need that. I'm not sure right now. I only need 3 of these. Okay, put those with the photo mats. So we're going to, this is a great opportunity for me to show you how you, I'm gonna move this up a little bit, can use your 12 by 12, kind of like you would 6 by 6 papers. So I cut 4 of the 6 by 12 designer series paper into 6 by 6 pieces. And then I just took the light patterns. So I'm going to do more light, airy look this time instead of using these dark ones. And then I cut them into 2 by 6 inch strips. So we're using minimal paper, but we're getting some good variety of patterns in here. So we'll have fun with that. And I need this as well. So right now, all of this can go over here to the side. So I need to stamp this, and I'm kind of thinking this will be our work surface over here. So I'm going to flip this over. And we need a big block and a medium block. So D and what is this one? E? Yeah. So Teresa says she got the dies. So those frames, so cool. Yep. But didn't get the stamp set. Well, maybe I'll talk you into it today. All right, so I'm just gonna, we'll wash this off later. I could bring in, I could, you know what? I think I will bring in. Let me see if I remember. Because I want to probably stamp off some too. Let me see if I have a loose sheet. I don't. So I probably have a dirty one over here I could use, but I go through these because I don't use them until they're like completely covered up. I don't know why. I just never have done that. All right, so maybe this is what we'll do. We can like just bring it over here and I can stamp off right here. I don't think that'll add any texture. So this is our base. We're gonna do some black. There we go. We can kind of do this and keep our paper protected over here. I think y'all, and since I'm on a big block, I do like to ink it up this way. It's just that way I don't end up with a lot all over the block. All right, so I think I'm just gonna do some random stamping. Since I didn't stamp off at all, I can bring it with some light here, and we're gonna go down and create just some foliage overlapping all the way up and down here. And then we'll add in that little one as well here and there. to fill in any little gaps or something. Maybe separate this out a little bit more. I think I'm gonna do it. I'll do it kind of straight right there. Got to be careful. I may have to splatter a little bit. Press too hard. Keep pressing too hard the second go around. Okay, I'm going to ink that up one more time. I'm going to come up with a light one over here. Oops, I got this dirty. That's okay. I'm going to move it out of the way for the moment. So I'm going to stamp off and do a light one coming over here. And maybe one more. I don't know. Let's do some of this first, right here. So it's kind of like that mixed media look again, depending on how much. There we go. Maybe bring it even up to over here. Yeah. I'm gonna do it solid, look right. It'll make it maybe look like it's coming out from there. Okay, I like that. I need some dark right in here somewhere. And maybe just a smidge going over here. Feel like I need to fill in a little bit of this down here in a couple of places. Let me go toward the end, and then I won't get so many. Stamp it off and do some right here. Just filling in those little gaps, the white. And maybe a little bit right there. Okay, so we're gonna have our big boldness over here, and then I'm gonna bring in a little bit, I think, of these. I'm gonna use Moody Mauve, Wild Wheat, and boho blue. I want to incorporate a few of the large leaves. I think just the large leaves with that. Put that aside. And then this will end up tying in with our florals, our 2x6 pieces. So I think we're done with this for the moment. If I don't want to make a mess, I've got a little bit of ink around there. So let me wipe that off real quick. I'm just putting a little bit of alcohol on a cloth. And that should take care of that. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe my table a little bit because it's kind of a mess. Okay. I feel like we can, well, let's go ahead and stamp a couple of these real quick. I even got some ink on this one. This is like this would be considered like a scrap piece. So I think we're good. I can kind of stamp around that. So let's do one of these leaves. We're going to do one in each color for now. I don't want to have to do a ton of fussy cutting. Okay, when you stamp, you'll see that it goes around the edges there. So I'm going to just lay it down lightly and try not to press too hard. That's pretty. Maybe I should. Why don't we just trying to decide. I've got a whole nother half sheet. I'm thinking through the rest of the projects. Yeah, maybe we'll just stamp it in first generation and second generation. So we can always use that on the Wednesday project or the fun fold cards on Friday. So I just want, now you want to press it in here really good to get all that ink off the edges. So I'm going to do that for each one of these three colors. The Moody Mauve, the Wild Wheat. Now these colors will be retiring. Don't want to hit that. As supplies run out, I believe. And then beginning May 5th or May 6th, they will, I think, be removed completely from the website when the new 25-26 annual catalog goes live. That is my understanding of how that's going to work. Well, you have to be sure to check out through the week, so see all the different ways that I'll be using the stamp set, Teresa. So now this boho blue is absolutely one of my favorite colors. This reminds me of the old Close to My Heart Bluebell, I think is what it was called. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. Okay, so we've got all those. And I may want to go ahead, since we're doing all our stamping, um, You Are Seriously the Best. That might be a good one too, if I go with Jeff. Is it gonna fit in there? I guess it's supposed to. So I'm gonna stamp it down here, leave enough room. I'll do that in black so that I can die cut that. Oops. Give me a second. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. There we go. Since these are cling stamps, I have to think a little bit differently. Okay, give myself enough room to die cut that all the way out. Very light touch. That's pretty. And then, so I think I'll put that on there. And I'm wondering, a little note of appreciation. Guess that would fit on that. So let's stamp it like this and try to use these frames right here a little bit with these labels is what these are really because they're smaller. Oops. Oh, and I thank everyone for your hearts and your likes. Appreciate that. If you haven't commented yet, I would love to know who's watching. Okay, so that can go away. Can go back in the carrier. And then we can get a little bit smaller one. I still struggle, y'all, with these cling stamps a little bit. All right, then we'll put it up about right there. I think that'll fit. Again, with these, you need a really light touch because the lines are so thin. So yeah, that'll end up working when I'm ready to cut those out. Give me 1 second. I got a little frog in my throat. There's Constance. How are you? And Sandy, right? I know you're Sandy Beach, right? Yeah, but it's Sandy, right? Let me know, make sure. That throws me off sometimes when I mean, yeah, nobody would know who I was, I guess, with my handle on here either, using passionate about scrapbooking, or I am passionate about scrapbooking. Let's see. And then it's hard to keep up with everybody. I'm doing good. We had a great weekend. I shared about that earlier in the live. And so excited to be playing with this collection of products. Why don't we'll go ahead and die cut these out, and then I'll have to fussy cut a couple of these. I don't know if I'll fussy cut the light ones yet. I need some. I don't know how I got a stamping dimensional on there unless I just stuck it there because I don't need that much. I'll just tear it in half. This is my removable post-it tape. So we can go ahead and adhere these on here. Guess about right there. I'll stamp that one a little crooked, I think. So I really wish I had some dies for these others, but these are going to be pretty easy to cut out. Tried to get them cut out ahead of time, but then my printer was messing up, so I fiddled with it too long. I did finally get it connected. So I think it was Friday. There was no internet for a while. I'm doing it this way. And then I don't have to run this whole sheet through it. I can go through till I cut it, and then I'm going to go back. There we go. So I spent most of the day Friday using my hotspot from my phone. Look, I love that. Until I finally had the time to sit and mess with fixing, getting the internet back online. So I'm married to an IT guy, but when he's not here, it's not very helpful. I did message him at work, and he gave me a couple of tips and how to get it back up online. And I guess when that happened, my printer went offline. So I had to redo all that this morning. Okay, so I think we've got all our stamping mostly done, unless I decide I need a little more. So if you have the whole packet of or if you do let me finish what I was saying. If you have your whole packet of Botanical Textures Designer Series paper, then you could see how it got some ink on the back there. We cleaned it up. That didn't work. You could cut a 12-inch strip right here, and you could even maybe tear it or something, so you wouldn't have to stamp it necessarily. So if you don't have the stamp set, Teresa. All right, let me put this one down as well. So I decided to go with the 23, 25 colors because I got them all, but I haven't really used them much. A little bit. These are being obnoxious. Come on. There we go. And I've collected them over the past year. So I wanted to get them in and feature them before they disappeared. Plus, I didn't even mention there is a whole designer series paper pack with that features all the colors as well. This is called Wildly Flowering Designer Series Paper. I have used it just a tiny bit. I think I did a um one sheet wonder, but I just want to show you this because it's really pretty and it highlights all the colors in colors. So this is all of them. I've got one flipped back so you see all of them. So I would recommend grabbing that too. So I might use that for like my Thursday treat. If I can get that squeezed in this week on Thursday, maybe I'll create a cool card or maybe even a scrapbook page, a bonus scrapbook page with it. Okay, so these are what we have. Oh, and now there they are. Let's fussy cut around a couple of these. I want the dark ones, the first generation. And then I'll cut those out if I think I need them. So I'm going to just kind of loosely cut them out. So I'm thinking I'll put them right over here. And I'll leave it up here so you can kind of see that it's not too difficult. I'm not getting super close or going way in. If you wanted to, you could totally do that. But if fussy cutting is not your favorite thing to do, but you're willing to do a little bit of it, so this way you don't have to do any. But if you want to add a few accents here and there, then you could just cut it kind of roughly around pretty quickly. Who are my fussy cutters? And who tries to avoid it at all costs? I think Debbie says she doesn't mind fussy cutting sometimes. If you have a lot of fussy cutting that you do, you could actually like sit in front of the TV and do this. I'm gonna have to go turn the air down here in a little bit. I think we have it set a little too low and it's gonna be warm. We got some good rain Thursday, I think. Is that right, Debbie? And so it had been so dry here. Like I could feel it in my nasal cavity, my tongue, my mouth, um, my eyes over the last couple of weeks. And we finally got some nice, soft rain that we got almost 2 inches of rain here last week, and so it's helped with the humidity. So it's been more humid. I think it's supposed to stay dry till later in the week, but it looks like it's overcast out there right now. Some nice sun would be awesome. But I can look out. I mean, overnight, basically, we have green grass. So the rain came at the perfect time for the Texas Hill Country because we have blue bonnets here in Texas that are popping up everywhere now. We saw some on our drive to San Antonio on Friday. My mother-in-law has some that she's growing in her flower bed or flower pots. I've never tried to do that, and I should because I love them. I've always thought it would be cool to have an old red mailbox. For some reason, it has to be red because I guess the contrast with the blue bonnets and then having them all around the bottom of the mailbox. I've always wanted something kind of like that, but I haven't made it happen yet. Because those blue bonnets are a little persnickety. Is that the word I want? They kind of like to grow wherever they want to grow, not necessarily where you want them to grow. But they're oh so beautiful. I need to head out back out to Wild Seed Farms. I've scrapbooked about that place a couple of times, and Jeff did go, and I go. We went out there last weekend, I think, but they didn't have hardly any flowers, so I bet they have some that are popping now. Think we saw a couple of poppies. Is that what they're called? The red ones. I'm not sure if that's what was coming up, but we'll see how I'm going to use this on here. I'm not sure exactly where yet. So let's get down some of our other. Oh, I do need to, because I want to use this corrugated. So let's do that too, real quick. And once we have all these pieces together, then we'll just put our, I don't really have an idea for too many clusters, so I may have to cut some more out. I'm not sure. Since there's no dies, I guess it doesn't matter. I've got 4¼ inch squares right here, so it doesn't matter too much which direction. It doesn't matter at all, really, which direction I put it into the folder, other than straight, maybe. Hey, Christine. Christine doesn't mind fussy cutting. I'm gonna have to come over and see Debbie. Debbie says she's got some blue bonnets. So this is gonna add some more texture. Um, Christine loves this embossing folder. It's kind of like, I forget what it's called. A crimper. I actually have one of those. I'm not sure where it's at. Is it hiding in here? I've used it fairly recently. I have to show y'all because this is probably one of my oldest tools I have. Look, I have a Fisker's crimper. And so it does something very similar to that, probably almost exactly to that. So that's what I've used for years. And I primarily just used it. I don't know where my sample is. I like to make these, or I used to always make them. I made one not too long ago. A Hershey candy bar treat holder. And I like to crimp the very end of it. It just gives a nice finished look. So This embossing folder might be a must-have then. Okay, let's see what else. That back. All right, we'll kind of see. I don't know if I'll put these over here. These might be my just my little cluster here and there. But this is my plan. I got my, oops, they're all over the place though now. My title's gonna go right in here in black. I almost did them in a color, but then I couldn't decide which color. I thought about a, darn it, I can't get these. One second. Thought about using all three colors, and I was like, oh, this is getting complicated. So I'm just gonna do my title in black. Ah, I just had an idea with this. Okay, so 4x4 photos on 4¼ inch corrugated cardstock. And I think I have them laid out. So again, these are 2x6 pieces. And we're just going to pull them across here. We got to leave room for our title, which will be right in here. And I think I'm going to start. Let me get some adhesive. Thank you for joining me for as long as you could, Constance. Have a great evening, night, whatever time it is. I have no idea. All right, so I think I'm going to center this. I'm going to bring it down like 1/4 inch from the 9. So centered would be between the 3 and the 9. I'm going to bring it about 1/4 inch, but I'm also going to bring it in about 1 inch right there. Okay, to start that one off. And then this one, we're going to go up. I think I'm going to do about 1/2 inch. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. So if I take it up to the 1¼ inch here, if you're going up this way, 9¼ and try to get them straight. And you know what? I feel like these, no, I'm gonna leave them like that because if they're leaves that are falling, they might fall kind of upside down like that. That's fine. All right, and so then this one, so we're gonna do kind of a zigzag, but we're gonna come 1 inch as well. Go up to about that 9¼ inch spot. I'm gonna lightly put them down in case I need to move them. And then down. Now, if you want to bring in a ruler, you can totally do that, but I will always tell you, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I think that's about where I want it. Let me see. Yeah, I was trying to get 1 inch here and 1/2 inch between. So they're somewhat uniform. So there's the 6. Mhm. Just looking to see if I have them somewhat straight. And then this one. Okay, that's fine. Now, if you wanted to add some more texture, you can maybe take your scissors and rough up the edges of these. You could ink them up with black to help them pop off the page a little bit more. Um, And now I just have to kind of decide. There's really no difference between either side. And then I'll kind of decide if I want to go maybe like that. I think I want all my stripes to go up and down. So we'll kind of see where I want these to fall. I think I want to put them all the way across, just straight, I think. And I was wondering, do I want to put them straight on here or at a little tiny angle? I'll probably just put them straight. So let's just put a little bit of adhesive on the back here because we'll replace these with the actual photo. Now, if you wanted more of the corrugated cardstock to show, you could make your frame bigger, or you could use, and we could do this, you could use 3x3 photos instead. So let's just compare. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to change my plan to, hello, Petra, to 3x3s, just for the sake of showing more of that cardstock. I'm going to keep it straight. I think I like it up and down better. And then you could put a black around here. I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't think I have enough black cardstock to go all the way through all my projects. That was a little too much adhesive. Just kind of lose my mind sometime. All right. And then should we do, I mean, I'm not going to do them all exactly the same necessarily, but we'll kind of play around and see what we got going on here and how we want to do this. This one could come out here. There's different ways we could do this. What was the other sentiment? I didn't even look and really pay attention. Thank you. Could use that one too. We could get them all on here. And maybe, I'm just not sure yet. So we're just still playing around a little bit. Let's get our title going over here. And we may have to do some splattering to bring in a little bit more color. And then, oh, there's something I wanted to do and I forgot about it. How are we going to incorporate all this pretty jute? That's going to add to it. Don't need that one, so we're only doing those three colors. Yes, I did learn. I saw that. I used that on another project. I don't think I have a copy, a page of it. So, yeah, since it does shrink it down a little bit. Good tip, Christine. I was kind of thinking of making like some little tags out of these. I guess I could still do that. I'm gonna, because you could do, I don't know, blue and blue, like boho blue, or just do one of them every other one, maybe. So there's some other things we can do to fancy it up. So I'm gonna cut because I did grab this out here as well. So I think we can still make this work. I didn't even really kind of measure that. I think it's about 5 inches. It's more almost 6. So one there, one there, one there, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. And I'm thinking of just tying like a little knot or a bow or something with the jute. Or I could do it the other way. I don't know. Give me 1 second, please. All right, I think I'm back. My ear was itching. I had to get my AirPod out for a minute. I think it has something to do with perimenopause. I've been having some funky ear itches for a while now. I don't, like I've never had this issue. I don't know what the deal is. All right, so I've got to decide if I'm going to, I don't know if I want it to go over that because you won't be able to read it very well. So see if I can squeeze it in up here somewhere. And this is where I was thinking the color might be better, but we're gonna go with, I think I can fit it over here fine. Grateful. So we need grateful, and L. I think that's the longest word, so I think that's gonna work just fine right there. All right, grateful heart. And happy life. That's the my title today. 1 second, lady. She's scratching at the door. This is where I was kind of wondering if I should bring some of that in here. And maybe not. Maybe it's just like dark over here, and then we bring in all the color over here. Something a little different. Need to see what other things are in my stamp set. This is going to be an interesting one to work with for the week as well, because we're kind of limited, happy, on heart and happy have the same number of letters, so we can line those up. So it gets to be a little bit challenging. Got all the little black fuzzies from the. Okay, so something like that. I'll bring it down just a little bit, try to get it centered. Yeah, and I think by doing a little tag here, we'll cut these a little bit shorter maybe, and maybe just tying a knot up here and doing every other, like the top one. I think that would be awesome. I had thought about dove cutting the tails on a couple of these, so maybe I'll do that on the opposite ones. That'll give some more texture, top and bottom, maybe. All right, so let's get our title down. And then, yeah, I may have to do some splattering. I did bring in my black Stampin' Right pen where if maybe I could draw something, some lines around here. All right, so I'm gonna grab my handy dandy close to my heart ruler. We can move some of this out of the way for the moment. Okay. And move this down, move that that's fine. I'm going to make a little mark for my center of the page. So 6 and 6. I think I'll just do a little mark that I can erase. And then split that up a little bit. And the A can be my center. And I need my silicone mat and my dot adhesive. This is how I most like to. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball in between here. We'll go about right. Well, it won't match up right there, but I think that's gonna be good. Oh, the sun is coming out, y'all, and I hear the birds chirping. They're so happy for the trees are popping, they're blooming, all the new green grass. There's probably lots of bugs that are about to hatch if they haven't already. That means I'm gonna have to keep my back door closed. And then great. Fold. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go about right there. So tell me, those of you that are in other parts of the world, what is your weather like right now? I'm loving this, like with close to my heart, for a while, we had Japan makers, but that didn't work out because they went um, live or started it right during 2020. I'll just say that. So it didn't work out really great. Then we also had, of course, Canada and New Zealand and Australia. Now, with Stamping Up, it's been so cool to get to connect with ladies from Europe, the UK, and gentlemen. We have Jay on our artisan design team. So it's not just women. Grateful heart. There we go. And I'll just go right under the heart. Maybe a little bit more separation right there. So when I was a teenager, anybody here a Duran Duran fan from the 80s primarily? So since they were from Britain, I always wanted a pen pal. And that's what I feel like I have now. Without having to, I mean, we've sent some birthday cards back and forth so far, but I get to visit in a messenger chat with all the artisan design team members. We're doing hops together, and we have one coming up on April 17th, as a matter of fact. Whoops. So we'll all be creating with new 2025, 2026 catalog products. I'm not sure if I may need to go over a little bit further. Let me see. I guess that'll be all right. Let me see. I just wish I could speak all the different languages, especially with those that don't speak English. You can translate it, which is nice now. There we go. Grateful heart, happy life. I'm gonna try to get that erased a little. It's not wanting to come up all the way. We'll see. All right, let's pull this up a little bit and see what we can do. See if I hopefully didn't mess this up too much. I can pop it up right there and do, probably need to go this way so I can see how far I'm going in. Uh-oh, it didn't pop out. Oops, I think I locked it by accident. So look at that little tag. Easy, have fun. And then I'm just thinking I will do this. And that little loop up there, can you see it? And let's see. Now this is really coarse and thick. I wonder if I kind of like the idea of making a bow. Now I'm sure can probably, so if you run your like your nail through here a little bit, it kind of takes out the curly a little bit. Not all the way, but we'll soften it up a little bit. Now you could, or I could, let me make it long enough. I usually go about 12 inches to make a bow. 9 inches is probably plenty, but I'm just wondering, I could just do that. There's lots of fibers and all of like the cardstock along with this ribbon. I guess if I just kind of press it back down, it'll kind of stay there. Could probably pull these apart if you wanted to. Look, 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 look. Yep, kind of like that. So just keep kind of untwisting it. It will make it look, I mean, you could like totally just, let me see if I can, it kind of knots it up if you want to do just a single one. Okay, let's see if I can pull that one out either. I might have to, there we go. Have to be careful so you don't make a knot. There we go. So now you can have 3 pieces. So if you don't like the real thick, so I may save that part and just do 2. Let's see if I can like knot this, get it knotted. I want it to get as close down here as I can. It's kind of like that. Then once you have it, that one knot, you can make your, maybe, yeah, just cut off what you want. I'm gonna, mm, there, I like that. Okay, there's lots, again, lots of fibers in here. Um, tack it down. Not sure if that's exactly where I want to put it, but just kind of centered. Oops, that didn't work very well. I just want it barely tacked down and so I can move it if I want to. Okay, so right there in the center, so it won't go anywhere. Okay, now we can do that on the rest of this, and then we'll see what else, if what we need to bring in, maybe where, yeah, I'm just not sure yet how I want to use this. Maybe we'll just do that instead of cutting. We might still cut. Now let's do, I'm going to do the wild wheat next. I think I locked it because I accidentally, when I went down, I pushed it up. I love that about these. You can lock them and keep them flat for storage. Let's do the same thing. Now we know what we're doing. My straight, pretty much. Okay. Try not to let it fall off the edge there. Again, about 12 inches or less if you don't want to waste too much ribbon. So yeah, there's 3 strands. And then this can make your ribbon go even further. Looks like one strand is like really pretty thick, and the other 2 are a little bit thinner. And just keep unraveling it and it'll, but the longer it is, the harder it is to get out. There's gonna be stuff everywhere. Just again, you want to be careful not to let it like tangle up on itself too much. There's one. And then there's 2. I think I'm going to use those 2. And then later, look at this. Then you can combine these. Oh, that would have really been cute. All 3 colors. Okay, I'm going to save these for a card on Friday. And then I need I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And about 12 inches. So I think all of this that I'm using today is still available. It's while supplies last for the 23-25 in colors. And then I think there's one ink pad that's not available, and I don't recall which one it was. Might have been the boho blue, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I don't think it'll be replenished. It's probably just gone for good. I'm trying to, got to get it all just loose enough so that it'll start, there we go, start coming out. Even though that is very textured as with all 3 strands, this is kind of cool. These 2 are both fairly thick, but I'm gonna use that one. Yeah, so look at that. That would be so pretty tied together in a bow. Look, all right. Line these up. Hey, Christine's in Canada, right? So they've got springtime similar to the United States. Oops. All right, there we go. I'm not sure what I did there. I guess that just got flipped in there. And I just want my bows to be, since my bows are a little bit tinier, you could have maybe just done like 9 inches. I just feel like I gotta have plenty to work with, my fingers. Maybe a little bit shorter, at least on that side. There. I'm not sure exactly where I want that. And one more. I keep kind of locking it when I do that. Got some adhesive on it, I think. So let me see if I can get it off there. There we go. I'm gonna have a mess to clean up today. I think I've always known this, but I'm finding as I'm doing these scrap and create kits with kind of, I'm, limited in my products that I'm using. So I'm learning that, got to be a little bit more creative with your products. One, as I'm kind of creating from scratch somewhat, and yeah, just using these, doing different things with your collection of products to bring in more texture really makes a big difference in your projects. So whether it be the ribbon or the dyes that we use, the ribbon jute, inks as well. So you can add texture with with stamping, like first generation, second generation. That's a close to my heart term. I'm getting all the fuzzies, or trying to. Might do something kind of like that, maybe. I don't know. Stamp on. I don't know what exact. I know there's the stamp off with Stampin' Up. Then what do you call just the full strength stamping? I don't know that there's any. I was looking at the stamps. You could just put some cardstock or something up and down underneath there if you wanted to. But let's wrap this up. We're going to keep it pretty simple since we don't have a lot to work with. Of course, we could bring in this somehow. another layer, but I'm going to commit to where my photos are going to go real quick. So I think I like that one there. Might want to use some liquid glue to make this stay down good. I'm going to do it about right there, maybe. So you've got your 4 and 8, but this is 4 1/4, so it's about right in there. That's pretty good. And this one I've got to decide, do I want to go over? I think I'm going to go over this way. Well, can't decide. Okay, maybe I'll go right here. Have that lined up. And I might come in with some black. We'll see if I can figure that out. And yep, I think I'll do it like that. So they're all kind of on that bow area, that tag, the same place. I'm just gonna look and see. I don't even have it. It's still over here. Just don't know if I'm gonna have enough cardstock to be able to do all of that. Got another piece over here. If I just did, y'all might have to watch me fussy cut just a little bit more. Looking for my foam. There it is. That. And I have to press a little bit harder because I think it needs to be a little more wet. I'm going to do one of each in second generation because I think that's going to just add the final touch we need to kind of like a cluster. So stamp off. I'll try to use minimal pressure and paper. And if I have to add a little bit more into the kit, so be it. I will. I did that first generation. Let me do second generation. Okay, there we go. I guess that one will be for another project. I'll just look at it as being ahead of the game. All right, let's cut close, fairly close. Just these three. So we can chit chat a little bit more while I'm cutting those out. I like to cut them, separate them. Again, it's kind of a rough cut, not all the way into every little leaf. And if you do everything like that, then it'll be a little bit more uniform. So this is more just for time's sake. If you wanted to make it more intricate, you definitely could, because there are no dies to these florals. We get a little spoiled by that, I think. But if you're someone that doesn't have a die cutting machine, then you either do have to do all this stamp fussy cutting or just stamp direct to paper like I did over here. Yeah, that's just going to add a little something extra. It needed that depth, especially on the cardstock. So the time is worth it. We'll finish this up. I might, well, I've got to have some journaling on here somewhere, so I've got to look at that and decide where I want to put it. I'll do strips probably, and maybe just put them across, maybe zigzag them a little bit, like two strips, two or three strips maybe across the page. I could add 3x3 flip flaps to add more photos. So once I figure out my photos, again, if you're joining me late, I didn't get photos or journaling done because my printer wasn't connecting. I think I got that fixed, but I didn't have time to finish up with my picking out my pictures. And this will give me a little bit more time to figure it out. I'm just pretty sure I'm going to scrapbook about Saturday mornings with Jeff. I think that's what it's going to be. So, our breakfast, I know I've taken pictures of us sitting down at the dining room table with our breakfast, our coffee. So, I may not really have that many photos to share. I'll just journal more and be more specific about with the journaling. So on Saturdays, we like to sleep in. Then we make a big breakfast, like with bacon and eggs and fruit, sourdough bread sometimes. I might make omelets on occasion. A lot of the time, it's just like fried eggs. And we love having bacon on Saturday mornings. Everybody does here in our house. Bevan was here this past Saturday morning, so it's all she wanted. She's just like, Mom, just let me know when the bacon's ready. And it was funny because we're in here and she goes back to her room and bacon's ready. So I just sent her some bacon emojis and she was in the kitchen that fast. I was like, oh, so you can respond that quickly to my bacon emojis, but if I ask you to do the dishes or something, I'm waiting and waiting, or anything, any text I give her. It takes a little while for her to get her little rear end in gear. All right, so I'm I kind of want to cut that, but I might be too late doing that. I think I'll just leave it. I was thinking of doing the dovetail. All right, so now we just need to, I think I like this over here. I think you are seriously the best. And then maybe I could do like a couple of journaling. Well, I could do some journaling here, some journaling up here, and then we'll come back down over here. That's what we'll do. Okay, so now I think all I need is to put these down. I think I'm gonna need small mini ones. So does anyone have any special meals they do with family? Yeah, well, we're still parents, but we're about to be empty nesters. So that's gonna be a change. When Jeff and I first started dating, he had custody of his kids and I had custody of ours. So our visitations were the same. The other parents would get them on the same weekend. So then we would have free, every other weekend would be a free weekend for us. However, we did um, do long distance dating for almost 2 years. So we weren't able to be with each other every weekend. All right, so I think I'm gonna like just kind of doing that. Um, this one I think I'm gonna put underneath. I'll overlap that photo just a tiny bit, and then this I will pop up. What did I do? Oh, good grief. Something got stuck there, and then I don't even know what that is. I hope it's not ink. I think it's ink, y'all. How did I get ink there? Okay, I guess I'm doing some splattering or something. It looks like, I don't know where it came. Look, came from me right there. And it's like, I guess when I did, oh, I bet it was, I don't know. All right, now I've got to figure out how to fix that. I'll figure it out here in a little bit, in a minute. Never fails. I don't think I can maneuver it so it goes all the way out there. I may have to bring in some splatter stamps. What do we have? Not really anything in there that would work. I could. What I might do, I won't do it right now. I might do another one and just cover that up. I can tuck it up underneath here. So that's what I'll do, but I'll do that in just a minute. All right, and then this one, maybe I'll put this up. I don't know if I want it up here or not. Let me see. Let me play around a little bit. Said I was going to do some journaling. Let me do this one. We'll do this one like over here, there, and we'll see what I want to do with that one. I'm not sure. Like that. And since I think that'll work fine since that's my title area. That'll work. So don't freak out when you make mistakes. There's always some way to cover it up. Maybe a dot would work too. Forgot I still got to put those on here. Thanks, Debbie. Yep, definitely. Lucky you, Debbie. She's got her husband cooking for her. Right there. Straight. My little note of appreciation can go with my journaling. So I'll make it so it's a little bit spined. My don't know if the dots are big enough though to really cover it. It might. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp one more real quick. Just bear with me. There was that one, but I think I want this stamp and see if I don't make, see if I can be careful and not make another mess. I ink all over the place on that time. Okay, so ink, stamp off. No ink. I'm just gonna put it away somewhere. We're almost done. Thanks for your patience, everyone. So I know my videos go long sometimes on occasion. If you go ever want to go back and watch one, you can always speed it up to like 1.25 speed or even 1.5 speed because I kind of talk slow anyways. So I still kind of sound the same. Maybe at 1.5, it's a little fast, blah, 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 blah. But you can get through everything a little bit faster. And of course, you can just hit that fast forward button and it'll jump every 10 seconds, I think. So I'm sure a lot of people do that already when they're watching replays. And did y'all know that on Instagram, do y'all know the new feature that if you're watching reels on Instagram, that if you put your finger up and hold like right above the heart area where you like it, if you'll press and hold, it'll make the video go faster? So then you can watch even more. Oh, they are just ruining us, I think. Nobody has the attention span to do much of anything anymore. And then with AI coming, it's really going to be crazy. All right, so then I can just tuck this one up under here. I like that. Ta-da! That took care of my boo-boo. All right, so tuck it up under there just where it'll cover that up. I can go that way or this way. I'm gonna go this way. Perfect. Okay, couple of little, we're gonna leave it at that and not get super crazy with texture, any more texture and all of that. I've got little fuzzies everywhere from the jute. That's fine. And so we've got, I think I'm just going to, let's first, I don't know why I'm picking this one. Oh, gotta do this real quick, y'all. All right, I'm liking these underneath better. What if I go up right here? I'll do that. I'll kind of go What about, mm, maybe I'll go up right there. Let me, there, we'll kind of do a corner. Put this bigger, taller one right here. Tuck this up under like over here. That'll work. I might have to trim that off just a smidge. But I was kind of thinking I would do, I'll put one up here. Okay, there. That kind of goes all the, brings it all together a little bit, I feel like. Yeah, I might need that one a little bit different place. Let me see if I can get it up. I don't know if I'm getting up the adhesive or not. I guess I'll leave it. Maybe I'll just do, oh, that was part of the putty. Okay, I might end up moving this one over here if I can get the whole thing up. There, I think I got it up. Ah, I've got fuzz everywhere. I just wanted to put it somewhere different other than the same over here. All right. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. I know I could add a lot more to it, but just for something a little bit different, we're going to keep it pretty clean and simple. Thanks for joining me today. So I'll do some journaling like right over here, or I might even like do it here, here, and here. I'm not sure. So I might can cover up something right there, but then it might just be good here, here, and here. Underneath here, a little bit over here, and down here. Okay, Grateful Heart, Happy Life. Using the Botanical Textures Designer Series paper along with that textured notes. And we did use two of the dies. So that's a good start. And we can do more frames and things on the rest of the projects for the week. So Wednesday will be our story and sketch, our 12 by 12 scrapbook page. And I'm going to go kind of with a Japanese ramen restaurant type theme. Because that's what that paper ended up reminding me of. And I can see the pictures already, and they're going to work really well, I think. Um, and then on Friday, we'll do our two fun fold cards. And oh, I have a really awesome one I'm going to do from inspired by Elizabeth Price. So I'm excited about that. She's a former, or she's an artisan alumni. would be a nicer way to say that. So I know she was an artisan last year, and she's also on our Paper Pumpkin Creatives design team, and she is super creative. I love her stuff. We're teamed up right now to proofread each other's PDFs. So again, the Paper Pumpkin March 2025 PDF goes live tomorrow. So as long as Rachel has that ready and posted tonight, I'll get an email out to those of you that are my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. And then also you can just buy the PDF for $15. There's a link in the description. All right, y'all take care and have a great week if I don't see you again on Wednesday or Friday. But if I do, I look forward to it. So take care, everybody. God bless you.